It took a while to turn the ordinary hall into a favorable terrain that can be used effectively. The monsters that didn't step on the mines were picked off one by the furious comrade Iglin. At that moment, the little dragon roared, seeming to want to call comrades, but to no avail. The walls of the hall were damaged. Labyrinths take priority over completing structures and cannot spawn new enemies. Groups of monsters will not appear. This is also the reason why I remain in this hall. While Reki-san was laying the mines, Iglin-san and I destroyed the walls of the labyrinth. This hall has now become a minefield and is also our hunting ground. Seduced, he set a trap and was taken down. In fact, it is pure hunting. This cannot be done when each one goes their own way, but if the team can work together, there are as many paths as possible. Everything is experience. It turns out that I have expressed all the experience I have accumulated up until now, when I reached the rank of a first-level adventurer. Even if I can't teach others how to fight like Miss Aiz and others, I can still give this kind of explanation. The only monster left was a dragon. What is floating here is not mist, but black fire dust. In this dreamlike space, the third team attacks from all directions, forcing the painful, young dragon into a desperate situation. So, fellow Iglin used the dead tree as a jumping platform to jump high, aimed at the dragon's back, and swung his sledgehammer. A fatal blow that penetrated the dragon's scales and spine. I have already told him where the enemy's magic stone is. With its head raised and its body thrown back, the young dragon let out a death cry, and then a large amount of dust rose up. After witnessing the monster's defeat, I was still nervously watching along with Nina and the others. As if praying, I looked at the explosion site where the little dragon turned into dust and dissipated, and then, there was a gulu sound. The sharp, little dragon teeth rolled to the ground. Yes, yes. The discarded item. It's so good. Classmate Chris shouted cheers, raised his hands, and applauded. Then Iglin-san let out a sound of joy, and Reki-san grabbed the mask with his fingers and pulled it down, a smile on his cute lips. Finally, it was Nina who ran up to me, who was standing there expressionlessly. Lappy-kun, you're so amazing. The battle is so perfect. Yes, well, that's great. Nina, I'm sorry, this time I put you in danger. No, that's not the case. Such a thing. It was the first time I saw Nina so excited. She held my hands tightly and kept bouncing them up and down. I couldn't help but smile shyly. At this moment, Iglin-san and the others, who were holding Little Dragon's fawn, also came over. A layman. No, Lappy. You're really good. Oh no, it's just that everyone is really good, but I'm not. Why are you so modest? I guess you must be a labyrinth nerd, huh? Everything you say is so good. Right. That's why you entered the school at a time when you're not even improving, huh? Isn't that right? Iglin-san kept smiling and patted my back, making me smile bitterly. After all, I'm actually an active adventurer, so even if I don't succeed, won't I still be far away? Lappy, you're a lucky rabbit. Become my guardian beast from today onwards. Chris and Reki-san. He also shared some incredible joy with me. Seeing the third team, who were extremely excited for a rare moment, I solemnly expressed my gratitude. Thank you very much, Iglin-san, Reki-san, Chris-san. Thank you for being willing to believe in me. Iglin is all that matters. Call me Iglin. Don't call me Iglin-san. Me too, you can call me by my name. After all, from today onwards, you are my best friend in writing. Me too, I give you my name. Looking at the smiling classmates, Iglin and the others, I too. Unconsciously, I smiled. It's amazing, it feels like the distance between us has narrowed a lot. A success experience that can be shared with peers. The more you suffer together, the greater the joy in the end. This is the dungeon. And the fun aspect of group battles. Unexpectedly, I returned to my original intention, and I was so happy that my heart wanted to fly. Nina. Yes. After laughing with Nina and the others, I caught her attention one last time. My intention must have been conveyed. Nina nodded in response to me, then stepped forward and said seriously. Everyone, listen to me. I think this is the dungeon. If everyone doesn't work together, we definitely won't be able to advance. I always told the team leader before. The students whose words fell on deaf ears now looked at her, listening attentively. Then after this, I also hope that everyone can work together. Don't let this team be called the tail of the crane again. That's still not enough. Straightforward words. Even if it's for my dream, it'll be a headache if I can't get credits. So, let me help you. I also think that this time will be easier than fighting alone. Let's try next time. Dwarves and little humans are so simple. But, it's okay. Hearing the answers from the three people, I felt relieved, while Nina seemed deeply moved, with a little tears in her eyes. We put the dropped items into my backpack, carried them carefully, and left the labyrinth. After returning to the surface, I found that the sun had already set. Under the influence of the sense of accomplishment, the sunset light seemed very soft and warm. The smiling third team did not return directly to the school district, but walked towards the guild headquarters. Hey, let's forget about it, shall we? If you want to exchange the magic stone, you can also go to the Tower of Babel. Today is the anniversary of our breakthrough to the upper level. Such a small exchange office is not suitable, we triumphant. We should be very proud of ourselves at the guild headquarters. Since he had dropped the sledgehammer and carried it on his back, the dwarf was now, Your Majesty Igly. I couldn't help but smile when I heard what he said. He smiled bitterly, but Nina looked a little embarrassed. The one who wants us to keep pace is Nina. I know, this is called reading the environment. After hearing Iglin and Chris's words, Nina was speechless and closed her eyes. As for me, I wanted to go to the guild's bulletin board to gather information before and after exploring the dungeon, so I agreed, although I was a little afraid of running into someone I knew, but seeing that she wasn't very active, I was a little confused. However, this issue was immediately resolved. After arriving at the guild headquarters, we successfully completed the exchange in a corner of the hall, and then... Is that Nina? Nina was about to leave the hall quickly, when a voice reached her. It was Miss Ina who called her name. It's Nina, right? It's me, Ina. Do you recognize me? Nina held her breath when she saw her jade-green pupils the same color as hers wide open deep inside her glasses. Then, she looked away and ran away. Wait, Nina. She shook off Miss Ina's words and ran outside. Standing in the same place with Iglin and the others, I looked back and forth between Miss Ina, who looked hurt, and Nina, who was running away, and at the same time, reluctantly chose the latter. I'm a Lappy student now, but this kind of thing is no excuse at all. I said, I'm sorry, in my heart and ran after my classmate who looked wrong. Nina, wait a minute. What's wrong? In the central square, he ran. On the northwest side of the square, a half-elf girl stood in front of a fountain with the sound of splashing foam, clutching her chest tightly. I'm sorry, it's nothing. But... it really doesn't matter. It's just that I feel very useless. Nina lowered her head and said this, with an expression on her face that I had never seen before. Shadows seen. Looking at her with a growing light, I couldn't ask any more, nor could I say a considerate word. I'll go back to the school district first. I'm sorry, Lappy Kuan. After saying this, Nina turned onto the main road to the port city in the southwest of the city and disappeared into the depths of the crowd. Wearing the combat uniform of the school district, I attracted many curious gazes around me, but I could only slowly look southwest and northwest. Maybe I'm nosy, but these two people must be sisters, and I've always been helped by them. So, I made up my mind. I went back the way I came, lowered my head, and asked Iglin and the others to take care of my backpack and other luggage, and then I had time to move around freely. When the sunset completely disappeared and the sky was filled with stars, I saw her sighing and leaving through the back door of the guild headquarters, so I spoke to her. "Miss Aina." "Bell Cranel." Aina looked at her and crouched down with a sense of guilt. Her eyes widened. "I'm not wearing a wig right now." The combat uniform of the school district was also taken off, and the camouflage suit was stuffed into a bag prepared in advance. After I separated from Iglin and the others, I secretly walked to the alley of Adventurers Avenue, on Northwest Street, and after confirming that there was no one around, I entered the underground shop, Witch's Hermitage. It was the magic shop I went to during the Battle of Maze Street and during my escape encounter with Ms. Sear. If there were rumors that students from the school district were going in and out of the Hestia Familia base, things would be very troublesome. So after thinking about it, this was the only place I could trust. Ms. Leno said helplessly, "Again, here we go." She gave me the welcome. I bowed my head again and used the fari gold coins I shared with Iglin and the others to buy clothes and wear them. When I left the store, I was no longer the same person.